Sheikh Rayan Al-Mahfouz thought he had found the perfect bride in Anvika Deshmukh, but what he discovered on their $5 million wedding night would turn his fairy tale into a deadly nightmare. Sheikh Rayan Al-Mahfouz's reputation for extravagance was unrivaled in Dubai, and his latest wedding promised to eclipse every social event the city had ever witnessed. Invitations encrusted with diamonds were delivered by private couriers, and guests arrived on chartered jets, stepping onto red carpets that led into a palace adorned with gold and crystal chandeliers. The air was thick with the scent of rare flowers imported from distant countries, and the soft glow of candlelight danced across intricate marble floors. Every detail, from the meticulously crafted floral arrangements to the rare caviar served on silver platters, reflected the immense wealth and taste of the sheikh. At the center of this spectacle was Anvika Deshmukh, a young woman from India whose beauty seemed to captivate everyone around her. She moved with elegance and grace, her silk gown catching the light with every step, and her presence commanded attention without a single word. Guests whispered about her mysterious past, but the allure of wealth and power silenced any curiosity. The music, a blend of classical strings and contemporary rhythms, set the mood for a night of celebration, while jewel-encrusted glasses clinked in endless toasts to love and prosperity. Yet beneath the glimmering surface, subtle details unsettled Sheikh Rayan, a fleeting expression of anxiety on her face, faint scars barely visible on her wrists, and an elusive tension that seemed to hang in the air around her. To the world, this night was the epitome of perfection, a union of beauty and wealth destined to be remembered. But for the sheikh, a seed of doubt had quietly taken root, signaling that this seemingly fairy tale celebration might conceal shadows far darker than anyone could imagine. After the celebration, Sheikh Rayan and Anvika retreated to the sprawling honeymoon suite, a sanctuary of gold accents, velvet drapes, and panoramic views of Dubai's glittering skyline. The world outside seemed distant, as if the night itself had been suspended, leaving only the two of them in the opulent room. At first, everything appeared perfect: the soft glow of candlelight, the gentle hum of music from the ballroom below, and the delicate scent of rare orchids that filled the suite. But Sheikh Rayan could not shake a growing sense of unease. He noticed the subtle tension in Anvika's movements, the way her fingers brushed nervously against the silk of her gown, and the faint scars on her wrists that hinted at a past she had not revealed. Though the exterior of their night was luxurious and serene, a silent storm seemed to brew beneath the surface, a quiet warning he could not ignore. He observed her closely, trying to decipher her expressions, yet Anvika remained composed, her calm demeanor unsettling in its perfection. The juxtaposition of her beauty and the subtle signs of concealment created an uneasy dissonance in the sheikh's mind. The suite, meant to be a haven of romance and intimacy, began to feel like a gilded cage, holding secrets that might shatter the illusion of the night. Every luxurious detail, the champagne on ice, the soft silk sheets, the ambient lighting, seemed to heighten the tension, amplifying the suspicion growing in Sheikh Rayan's heart. Beneath the veneer of celebration and opulence, an unspoken truth lingered, a shadow over the perfect wedding night, hinting that the events about to unfold would transform their fairy tale into a nightmare. Hours into the night, Sheikh Rayan's curiosity turned into alarm when a discreet message arrived from his private assistant, who had quietly run a background check using Dubai's elite intelligence contacts. The information was shocking. Anvika Deshmukh's name appeared in confidential police records in India, linked to a sprawling organ-trafficking network. The files detailed transactions, victims, and associates, revealing a side of her that no one at the wedding had suspected. Each page he read felt heavier than the last, a cruel weight pressing on his chest. The woman beside him, whose elegance had mesmerized guests and whose beauty had seemed flawless, was documented as someone who profited from human suffering. Sheikh Rayan's mind raced, trying to reconcile the fairy tale bride with the criminal described in official reports. Panic and disbelief mixed with rage as the realization hit him: he had married a woman with a dangerous, hidden past. Anvika, sensing the shift in his demeanor, remained unervingly calm, as if expecting him to uncover the truth. The luxurious suite, once a sanctuary of intimacy, now felt like a trap, its golden walls closing in around the mounting dread. Every moment became tense, charged with the silent knowledge that beneath her poised exterior lay secrets that could destroy not just his reputation, but his life. The fairy tale had twisted into a nightmare, and the night that was meant to celebrate love and wealth had transformed into a chilling confrontation with the truth, setting the stage for events that would spiral far beyond the boundaries of anything Sheikh Rayan could have imagined. Fear quickly morphed into anger as Sheikh Rayan confronted Anvika, his mind a storm of betrayal and disbelief. She remained unerringly composed, her calm demeanor only intensifying his fury and suspicion. Every movement, every measured gesture, seemed calculated, as if she had anticipated this moment all along. The golden walls of the suite no longer symbolized luxury, they now felt suffocating, echoing the silent tension between them. The sheikh scrutinized her face, searching for any hint of remorse or explanation, but found only an unsettling serenity that made his blood run cold. Anvika's vague and rehearsed responses offered no clarity, only deepened the uncertainty gnawing at him. The atmosphere grew heavier with each passing second, the air charged with unspoken threats and concealed truths. Outside, the laughter and music of the wedding celebration continued, a stark contrast to the storm brewing inside the suite. What was meant to be a night of joy and intimacy had become a battleground of trust and suspicion, a deadly psychological duel between wealth and cunning, love and deception. Sheikh Rayan realized that uncovering Anvika's past was only the beginning, the night was far from over, and every choice he made from this point would carry consequences that could turn deadly. The fairy tale facade of their union was shattered, replaced by a chilling awareness that one wrong move could unleash a chain of events with irreversible consequences. Driven by a mix of fear and determination, Sheikh Rayan plunged deeper into uncovering Anvika's hidden world. Using his powerful connections, he accessed intelligence that revealed a sprawling organ-trafficking network spanning India, the Middle East, and beyond. Each discovery was more horrifying than the last: secret transactions, corrupt officials, and innocent victims whose lives had been stolen for profit. Anvika's role was central. She had been a key intermediary, coordinating deals, manipulating wealthy clients, and exploiting loopholes in law enforcement. The woman he had admired and married for her beauty was entangled in a criminal empire that preyed on the vulnerable, and the enormity of her deception sent chills through him. Every revelation made the luxurious suite feel increasingly like a cage, trapping him in a nightmare where wealth and power could not protect him from the dark reality of his bride. The more he uncovered, the clearer it became that his own fortune and reputation were at risk, silently entwined with her dangerous operations. The wedding night, once a symbol of celebration and opulence, had become a tense investigation in real time, with the line between love and terror collapsing entirely. Sheikh Rayan realized that exposure of Anvika's network could bring international scrutiny, ruin his family name, and put lives in danger. What had started as personal betrayal had expanded into a high-stakes confrontation with crime, deception, and the horrifying realization that he had married someone whose life had been built on lies, manipulation, and deadly ambition. Sheikh Rayan's investigation into Anvika's criminal past pulled him into a dangerous web of alliances and betrayals. He relied on trusted aides to gather proof, but the stakes made loyalty fragile. Some aides feared the consequences of being connected to such a scandal, while others were tempted by bribes from rival networks hoping to protect Anvika. Every conversation, every move, became a test of trust, and paranoia seeped into every corner of the palatial suite. The opulence that once symbolized power now felt like a gilded prison, its golden walls reflecting suspicion and deceit. Sheikh Rayan realized that even those closest to him could not be counted on. The web of intrigue extended beyond the suite into the city's elite circles, where information was currency and betrayal often came with a smile. Meanwhile, Anvika's calm and calculated demeanor added another layer of tension, as if she knew the fractures in his inner circle and was silently exploiting them. Every step he took to contain her threat carried uncertainty, and each revelation from his aides brought as much danger as insight. The wedding night, meant to be a celebration of union, had transformed into a battlefield of power, secrecy, and manipulation, where even wealth could not shield him from the lethal consequences of misplaced trust. Sheikh Rayan faced the grim reality that navigating this deadly night would require every ounce of his cunning and resources, and yet even his best-laid plans might crumble under the weight of betrayal and the unpredictable actions of the woman he had married. As the night deepened, Anvika realized her secrets were no longer safe, and desperation transformed into calculated action. She attempted a daring escape through the hidden service corridors of the palace, slipping past golden halls and opulent chambers with the skill of someone who had navigated dangerous situations before. Security cameras caught fleeting glimpses of her movements, but trained guards quickly blocked her path at every turn. Panic sharpened into ruthlessness as she sought any opportunity to flee, revealing a side of her that was cold, strategic, and fearless. Sheikh Rayan, enraged and terrified, pursued her through the labyrinthine corridors, each step echoing the high stakes of their deadly game. The luxurious palace, once a symbol of celebration and indulgence, became a trap where every hallway and room was fraught with tension, fear, and the possibility of sudden violence. The chase was not just physical, it was a battle of wits and survival, a contest between a man whose wealth and power could command armies and a woman whose cunning and audacity had already ensnared countless victims. Every moment heightened the suspense, and the once celebratory wedding night had morphed into a life-or-death struggle, where one misstep could trigger a chain of irreversible consequences. In that golden, echoing palace, the boundaries between love, betrayal, and lethal danger had dissolved, leaving only two individuals locked in a deadly confrontation that would decide who controlled the night, and whose secrets would survive. Cornered and desperate, Anvika revealed a final, terrifying secret that sent a shock through Sheikh Rayan's mind. She had obtained incriminating evidence that could destroy his reputation, expose his wealth, and entangle him in legal and political scandal. The power balance shifted in an instant, and the Sheikh faced a harrowing choice: risk exposure and ruin, or act decisively to neutralize the threat. In the tension-charged suite, every second felt like a lifetime as fear, anger, and betrayal collided. Anvika's calm, cold gaze hinted at both defiance and calculation, leaving no room for hesitation. Sheikh Rayan's decision, irreversible and ruthless, transformed the night from a confrontation into a fatal climax. What had begun as a fairy tale wedding erupted into violence, marking the end of innocence, trust, and the illusion of luxury. The opulent suite, which had hosted golden chandeliers, silk drapes, and exquisite decor, now bore witness to betrayal and tragedy. By the time the ordeal ended, the night had left an indelible mark, a deadly reminder of secrets, power, and the lethal consequences of marrying a woman whose life had been built on manipulation and crime. The grand celebration, intended to immortalize love and wealth, had become a scene of horror, and the shadow of Anvika's dark past ensured that nothing in Sheikh Rayan's world would ever be the same again. News of the deadly wedding night quickly reached Dubai authorities, triggering an intense investigation that rippled across international borders. Law enforcement uncovered evidence of Anvika's organ-trafficking network, revealing the staggering scale of her criminal operations and the innocent lives stolen in her pursuit of profit. Sheikh Rayan's involvement, while indirect, drew scrutiny from media and government officials, turning his personal tragedy into a public scandal. Journalists and social commentators dissected every detail: the luxurious wedding, the deadly confrontation, and the criminal network's reach, casting shadows over Dubai's elite circles. For the Sheikh, the investigation was both a relief and a torment. The law now recognized the danger he had faced, but the exposure of Anvika's secrets threatened to unravel the carefully curated world he had built. Friends and allies turned cautious, reputations were questioned, and alliances fractured under the weight of fear and suspicion. Even as authorities dismantled parts of the network, the full extent of Anvika's schemes remained murky, leaving an unsettling sense of unfinished business. The opulence of the wedding, once a symbol of triumph and celebration, had become a stark reminder of deception, greed, and human cruelty. Sheikh Rayan, though physically unharmed, found that surviving the night was only the beginning of navigating the fallout, a battle of reputation, power, and personal reckoning that would haunt him long after the golden halls had emptied and the chandeliers had dimmed. The wedding night that had begun with glittering grandeur ended as a dark legend whispered across elite circles worldwide. Sheikh Rayan survived, but the events had forever altered his life, leaving scars deeper than any visible wound. Anvika's name became synonymous with betrayal, manipulation, and danger, her criminal empire partially dismantled but still leaving unanswered questions about the victims she had exploited. Dubai's authorities tightened security and oversight, yet the shadow of the deadly night lingered over the city's elite, a chilling reminder that wealth and power could not shield anyone from deception. The golden halls of the palace, once a stage for celebration, now symbolized the fragile boundary between luxury and peril, and stories of that night spread through whispers, media headlines, and cautionary tales. For Sheikh Rayan, the event became a turning point, a harsh lesson in trust, vigilance, and the hidden darkness that can lie beneath beauty and charm. The world outside continued to marvel at Dubai's splendor, unaware that behind one of its most extravagant celebrations, a deadly confrontation had shattered innocence, exposed hidden crimes, and rewritten the story of love, wealth, and human vulnerability. The fairy tale had ended, replaced by a chilling reality that would haunt the sheikh, the city, and anyone who dared to witness the lethal consequences of secrets, deception, and ambition.